Hi, I'm Irving. You have just entered Cartertopia. Last time, Rich Harrison Finch, though he pronounces it Finch, hired someone to kill Diana Prince. She's been nosing around an amusement park, one that he wants to buy to set up an espionage for hire operation spying on the U.S. government. Leon Gurney owns the park, and his badly disfigured twin brother David lives in some tunnels under the park. David maintains their main attraction, a roller coaster called the Superloop. Randy is a teenage kid who blundered into David's operation, and now David won't let him leave. But Diana has a bigger problem in the form of a huge truck that just crushed her car with her in it.
You okay? Yeah, let's check it.
Wonder Woman bags a twofer. They don't know anything. It's the usual story. Voice over the phone, money in a P.O. box, no names, no faces.
Well, this person will call you back for a status report, right?
Yes.
Good. When that happens, you're going to tell them that you succeeded. And then, after you hang up, you're going to march yourselves down to the nearest police station and turn yourselves in. Won't that be fun?
Turn themselves in for what? I would assume for killing Diana Prince, but I'm sure they'll come up with something. We spend some time watching Randy and David become friends, growing out of their mutual love of roller coasters. Diana reports everything she knows to Steve. They discover that Pierce didn't take his lucky 50-cent piece with him today, so they get to listen to a coin sitting on a dresser. Meanwhile, the police are looking into Randy's disappearance and want to know about the monster in the park.
Listen, anybody who works in an amusement park that caters to children has no business spreading irresponsible rumors about monsters.
And despite all the reports from employees you received over the past year, you never saw fit to call the police?
Why? I mean, he doesn't do any harm.
At least you do admit it exists.
No, Sergeant, he didn't say it. He said he. Follow up on that. As soon as he leaves, Leon heads out to talk to David.
With you down here, it's kind of like it has a guardian angel, huh?
This isn't the alarm. How'd you like to be the guardian angel for a little while?
He says, don't touch anything, just watch and listen. I'll be back soon. In Finch's office, he's reaming Pierce for leaving the bomb behind. Lucky for the IADC, Pierce took all the change in his pocket today.
It disturbs me greatly.
Diana Prince tried to get in to see the park owner. I think it might be wise to postpone my plans for now.
There's only one way he could have known I tried to see Gurney.
They hear someone bring room service in.
Oh, Mr. Pierce, would you take care of the gentleman's gratuity?
Surely. It's funny.
What's that?
Tipping is all that 50-cent pieces are good for these days.
Uh-oh.
Cheapskate.
It was nice while it lasted, but we really don't want to hear about the bellhop's life, so turn it off.
Do you think the creature in the park recovered it?
It doesn't really matter, Steve. Finch has bugged Leon Gurney's office, which means that...
Which means that we can't very well look for a bomb Pierce left in the park without Finch knowing about it.
Which means that if we're smart, we can make Finch play right into our hands.
Leon and David spend a little time catching up, then Leon brings up Randy. He says, I can't contain this thing. You have to let him go and come on up into the light.
Now you gotta help me. Look, I'm saying, I need you up top. I'm saying that I'm too bad-tempered, I'm too scatterbrained, I'm too careless to get us through this thing. I'm scared to death I'm gonna lose us the park.
David still refuses.
You're doing this for yourself and you know it. Think it over, I'll be in touch.
Steve Trevor barrels into Leon's office, posing as an inspector of some kind.
Me and my boys just checked over your steel coaster. I want to tell you that your maintenance men been doing a fine job. Must be that pep talk I gave him last month.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you found nothing wrong.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh, no, I didn't say that now, did I?
No, as a matter of fact, there's a section of your Superloop track that's going to need some work real soon.
They mention a specific section of the track. Steve knows they have Finch's undivided attention. Leon has no idea what's going on.
I want you to go to Fun Universe and find out everything you can about a ride called the Super Loop.
I thought we were going to forget about the amusement park until we could figure out how the IADC fit in.
Can't afford to now, Mr. Pierce. Not when we have the perfect opportunity to make Mr. Leon Gurney look extremely negligent.
Randy has been looking at David's designs. He's in heaven.
Teach me, will you? I want to learn all there is to know about roller coasters. Someday I want to design the biggest, fastest steel coaster in the world.
Like David, Randy figures there's nothing for him up on the surface, and down here he's found the kindred spirit of his dreams. The guy who designed the bomb for Finch has a new gadget for him, a little device that induces metal fatigue. Pierce clips it onto a piece of the same kind of steel the Super Loop is made of and switches it on for a few seconds.
Now, it'll take a little longer on the roller coaster, but here.
What?
Try to bend it.
Oh, come now.
Go on.
Look at that!
Now, this is the best part.
It self-destructs after it's done. Unfortunately, our man only made one of them and Pierce just used it, so the plan is off. It's early morning, Diana is watching the park, and workers are inspecting the rides before they open.
Well, she's clean as a whistle.
Another of Finch's men?
Okay. Good. It's all there. You can count it later.
No, a park employee with no scruples.
You sure nobody's gonna get hurt?
No. All this is going to do is shut down the most popular ride in the park for a couple days. You won't mind that, will you? Seeing Leon Gurney spoil him a little? Sure would.
Did Pierce tell him what that thing does? What does he think will happen when a fully loaded car hits that spot? This is what being a disgruntled employee does. It makes you do stupid things without thinking them through. Please try to stay gruntled. David is dismantling the bomb. He calls it a work of art. It's requiring all his concentration.
Randy. Randy. Randy.
Randy noticed that too. He's found a way out and is already in the park. David has been making him eat healthy, so he heads to get something with sugar in it.
Randy?
I'm not sure why he's running. He shouldn't know who she is. You left the door open. Kind of defeats the purpose. Told you.
Wait!
She followed me down here.
What were you doing up top? I told you never to go
I
up
just
top.
wanted to get you another cup of coffee.
What am I going to do with her?
Talk to her, maybe? Find out who she is and why she was chasing Randy? Nah, that'd never work. Diana spies the bomb, tells them who she is, and says, this is the evidence we need to bring a major bad guy to justice. David is telling her she can't leave when they're interrupted.
There's something wrong with the Super Loop.
There's something wrong. Section 38. The car's just been dispatched.
That little flaw in his system I mentioned last time, he can't stop the cars. He has sensors, monitors, everything but brakes.
The force of that car coming off that section is going to shatter the whole loop. Come on.
I don't know where he's going, but this is the opportunity Diana needs.
But what if they see you? What if they find out about you?
It doesn't matter. We have to stop that train.
Again, why can't he stop it from his computer? What does he have to do? And I think he expects that locked door to keep Diana in. It won't. I'm gonna miss that. Pierce watches in amazement as the cars go around the loop and exit harmlessly while Wonder Woman holds things together. With the crisis past, David and Randy are back underground.
That lady escaped.
I let her go.
But you'll tell people David's down here.
No, believe me, she won't. Besides, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if people knew.
David has every excuse in the world, and why not? He's had a couple of years down here to dream them up.
The only person keeping you down here is you. There is one thing that you can do for Leon and for the IADC. The bomb. I'd like to take it with me.
I'll get it.
Everyone realizes Randy has to go back too. Wonder Woman will use her lasso to wipe his memory so he'll have no idea where he's been. But she'll let him remember his friend.
He's the neatest person I've ever met.
Well, maybe someday David will realize that there are many people capable of having the same feelings about him.
Convince him to come up to the surface and he could probably get custody of you.
I don't know. I don't know, Mr. F. She just showed up out of nowhere. All I know is they must be onto us. What are we going to do?
Now, Mr. Pierce, we can't have you warning Mr. Finch. He might get away.
But now that Pierce has told her where Finch is, the odds of that are growing smaller. Not a very dignified way to pack, sir. Hardly befitting a man of your social stature. If I knew Wonder Woman was after me, I wouldn't even bother. I'd scram with the clothes on my back and hope I was fast enough. While he's wrestling with a suitcase that's smarter than he is, Wonder Woman is making her way to where he is. It's our last one. Let's do this with style. Breaking the door was unnecessary, but I think she enjoyed it. That was a heck of a fall. Good thing she landed on something soft. Him.
Well, of all people to bump into. Hello, Mr. Finch.
You've got nothing on me, Wonder Woman.
Oh, really? Well, how about a bomb? The bomb that your friend Mr. Pierce planted at Fun Universe last week?
You haven't got that bomb. You're bluffing me.
Oh, it's true, I don't have it. But the IADC does.
That's right. Your life is effectively over. Say goodbye to the cushy hotels, expensive suits, and fawning lackeys. Welcome to being prisoner 8675309.
The man who made the bomb for him hasn't stopped talking since they hauled him in. Finch has a long stay in the federal penitentiary to look forward to.
The kid who disappeared, he's reappeared. The Superloop is going to be back in operation next week. Everything's getting back to normal.
Yes, Randy has no idea where he's been for 5 days, but people will get over that. It's time for Diana to leave.
I know that we've caused you some awkward moments, Mr. Gurney, but I want to apologize as well as say thank you for all your cooperation.
I think for him, those eyes saying thank you was better than if Ed McMahon said he had won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes.
Mr. Gurney.
If you aren't a little teary-eyed right now, you have no soul.
Welcome home.
Could there be a better last line for this series? I think not. Maybe it wasn't a bad thing rearranging the episodes like that, even if it was a little confusing. I met a guy in Wyoming a couple of times who was burned worse than that. I never got to hear his story, but his wife was one of the most beautiful and charming women in town. The people who matter will see you for who you are, not for some horrible thing that happened to you. The people who only see the scars aren't worth your time anyway. If you want to read an amazing story about someone who had an accident similar to David's, check out Tested by Fire by Meryl Womack. I've included an Amazon link in the description. There wouldn't be another live-action Wonder Woman until 2016. Does that mean Linda Carter set the bar so high nobody else wanted to try it for the next 37 years? I'd like to think so. The show didn't rely on eye candy. Wonder Woman did stuff, and so did Diana Prince. In fact, as the reboot went along, we saw more and more of Diana Prince secret agent than we did of Wonder Woman Amazon superhero. I enjoyed that. Diana used her own skills and her brain more often than she used her alter ego, giving us a great image of the smart, capable woman, who also happens to be such a knockout guys go cross-eyed when she walks by. But we discourage that kind of behavior around her because it tends to be disrespectful. She brushes it off with an eye roll as if to say, "Do you ever think with the big head?" With rare exceptions, we focus on Wonder Woman's abilities, not her appearance. It was that way from the first episode. There were a couple of references to how pretty she was, but most of the focus was on her strength, her bullets and bracelets, and the rest. Life for women isn't a choice between being good-looking or being capable. You can be both. So what happened? I can't say for sure, but I think part of the problem was that the show got more and more campy as it went along, especially in the third season. Wonder Woman's specialized outfits are a perfect example. Where did she get a skater's outfit complete with pads? In both the first episode and the reboot, her mother Hippolyta gave her the special outfit that gives her the powers. Where did the others come from? Or does the outfit morph into whatever form she needs? I need something, some explanation that's plausible within this universe. Add the fact that Steve was dead weight who could have been replaced by a direct line to Iraq, tons of missed opportunities that we've already talked about, and I think the third season just didn't live up to the expectations that the first two seasons led us to have. Plus, Linda Carter was focusing more and more on her music and didn't want to be Wonder Woman anymore. Whom could you get to replace her? It would have been like trying to make a fourth season of Batman without Adam West. And so we end with a heart-melting welcome home and call it good. There's a host of reasons why this series has endured. For one thing, terrorism and Nazis are still a problem. For another, women are still second-class citizens, and Wonder Woman is someone they can look up to, especially the younger generation. She's strong, independent, intelligent, and self-sufficient, and her number one priority in life is helping people. Not a bad role model. The stories, for the most part, are engaging and well-paced. There'll always be things we can pick at, but the show is fun. Guys who sit down to ogle Linda Carter end up cheering for her when she saves the day. It's engaging in a way that's hard to describe and even harder for other shows to duplicate. If I was a producer, I wouldn't even try. We may have reached the end of the line, but this show will endure for a very long time. As well it should. I'm Irving. Please move to the exits in an orderly fashion. Cartertopia is now closed. Cartertopia is now closed. I don't believe I got that in one. Maybe all the segments should be an hour and a half long.